to The Artist's Wait. This is our first play of the week discussion episode, so I'm really excited about this. The play this week was Edward Albee's The Goat, or Who is Sylvia? If you read this play, wow, I mean, it was just like so good. The climax catharsis, it all happens on the last page, and so you're just left with this so much. Great play. Just a quick review. So if you want to be surprised by the play, if you've not read it yet, maybe don't listen to this part. But I won't give away too much. So the play is about this very successful architect, and he is having adult sexual relations with a goat, and his best friend tells his family about it, and it's about how the family copes with it, handles it, how Martin, the main guy, how he, I guess, explains it, and then there's a thrilling conclusion. So I didn't give away too much, but anyway, so just since it's just me here, so I can't discuss many things, I'm just going to point out some things that came up that I thought about while I was reading it. One thing in the play that I wondered was, at what point do we accept, I don't know how to say this, at what point do we accept other people, other people's actions, just because we want to be accepting? That's just a question, I don't have an answer to that. So, I think of myself as a pretty accepting person, pretty liberal, and I try to be non-judgmental, but I don't know how much of that is me just wanting to be a non-judgmental person, and how much of that is me actually limiting what I truly feel. I don't know. And is there harm in that? Is there harm in me, tricking myself or convincing myself to be more accepting than I really am? I would think that's a good thing, but is there a point at which accepting a certain behavior is no longer acceptable? So that's one thing that came up. Another thing I thought the play was about was the shock of discovering what we ourselves are capable of, like the darkness, the actions that we can commit that may have seemed completely foreign, completely outside of our vocabulary before, but suddenly we find ourselves doing them, and they seem right when we're doing them. So this guy is in love with a goat, and I'm sure he never thought that would happen, years ago, but it happened, and it makes so much sense to him. So what are things that maybe we don't think we're capable of, for good or bad, that one day we could end up doing that? And also other people that we know, other people we have relations with. Imagine what they can do, something you might not imagine them doing, but what if they did something that is grotesque to you, or something that might be just come out of what their normal actions are. Lastly, another thing was, I thought the play brought up a lot about trying to find new definitions to old, familiar, or understood words. So communication was a big part of this play. There's a lot of really specific clarification, and Edward Albee really, it's almost like a playwright saying, see what I did there? He'll have one character say a line, and the next character will say, why did you say it this way instead of this way? And you can just tell the precision that Albee wrote with in it. But it's, so communication is a big part, and defining words and understanding what someone else means in their words, so significant. So particularly in this play, love, Martin defines the love he has for Sylvia, the goat, as the same as he loves his wife. And to him, it makes sense, because that's what he's feeling, and, you kind of have to trust that what he's saying is true, that he does love the goat as much as he loves his wife. Stevie, his wife, does not comprehend that, and her definition of love cannot extend to an animal. So there's a there's a wall up between there and the barrier. And so one of my favorite lines from the play is Stevie coming back to Martin. Martin said, says after Martin has said that he loves a goat, And Stevie says, how can you, and Martin's saying, but I love this goat, but I also love you. And Stevie says, how can you love me when you love so much less? And such a good line, so good. Mercedes Ruhl played this part on Broadway, and I love Mercedes Ruhl. Anyway, so she's a powerhouse. I love her. She's so good. So in my head, as I was reading this, Mercedes Ruhl was doing it. Another line that really stuck out to me was Stevie saying that she knows that Martin is having this affair with a goat, but it didn't sink in really. So she's saying that and next of course came believing it, knowing it's true is one thing, but believing what you know, well, there's the tough part. I just think about it as an actor. Even this isn't probably exactly where he was going with this, but what it made me think of was, as an actor, you can know your lines, you can know the situation, but the tough part and what makes it real is when it sinks into your body, and when it affects you at a personal level. And so it's this when the intellectual becomes the physicalized and the emotional, and that's where the power is, and that's when reality hits, and that's what that line meant to me. Anyway, so that's the goat. What I thought about the goat, what I loved it. What did you think about it? What were things you thought during it? Let's say I'll start rating these things. I give it 5 stars out of 5. I absolutely love this play. So anyway, that's enough of that. The next play that we'll read next Friday, or talk about next Friday, will be a Sarah Ruhl play called The Clean House. I've seen and read Melancholy play by Sarah Ruhl, and it's absolutely charming play. Love it. So I'm excited to read this other play of hers. Check it out. I probably won't post anything until Monday. I've got filming all day tomorrow, and then possibly filming on Sunday, and a callback to go to Sunday. So busy weekend, a lot of driving, and early mornings. So stay tuned, subscribe, and read The Clean House. Bye.